Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking about your future spouse and the side they'll only show to you. I have 4 piles for you all to choose from today. Starting over here, we have Labradorite, pink quartz, clear quartz, and lastly lapis lazuli. You can check the comment section or the description box for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks that called out to you. Remember, multiple stacks can call out to you. Just take whatever you feel is an actual message for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello to everyone who chose pile 1 with this labradorite right here. I've already laid out all the cards when it comes to this pick a card and the side they'll only show you. I'll go over them quickly so you do know what's out here on the table. So starting over here, we have the 2 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Up here we have the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, the Sun, the 7 of Pentacles. Down here we have the Ace of Cups, Hierophant again, the Coral with Foundation, the Beluga with Communication. We have Peace with Saint Francis of Assisi, Italy with 29, and we have Happiness with Shambhala Himalayas with 19. So couple of duplicate cards, couple of duplicate numbers. So we have some similar energy coming out through different cards. We do have 2 of my favorite cards coming out first with the 2 of Cups as well as the Knight of Cups, because we're seeing this person as somebody who's very romantic, but somebody who can only show this loving side to you. They only feel comfortable around you, comfortable enough to open up. And we can see that also in the Hierophant as well as, or the Hierophant coming out twice. Having somebody that has such a strong or deep connection that you feel like you can completely open up. You can bare your soul to this person. This person trusts you, knows that you're there for them. They can lean on you. They can tell you everything. And with that, they can be their truest form of themselves, which is a very romantic, very loving, very caring, nurturing person. Even though I feel like with other people, they might have a different appearance. I really don't feel like they show that side to anyone else. Even family doesn't feel like they have that comfort with their own family. So it's something that's uniquely yours. You know, that side that they show around you is just so extra loving. We even have it in the Ace of Cups too, where they feel so like you're matching them so well that they could finally be the person that they've always wanted to be. You give as much as they do. You respond in a very like supportive, loving way to their own way of loving, to their love language. And I think both of you really understand each other's love language, the way that you communicate, the way that you show affection. So it only opens them up more. And there's a bond between the 2 of you that's not just like on the physical level. There's something that's more, it's more emotional. It's more like on a soul level than just anything else, because we have the Hierophant, which would be a higher power, like a universal level or like a soul level, right, within that card, as well as the Queen of Swords, communication. So we see a higher level of communication coming through with those 2 cards, and a lot of love, a lot of affection. I mean, this person can open up to you, and there's such a beautiful energy, overall energy of happiness between the 2 of you. It's really something that's very bright, and like it's embraced continuously. So both of you have this approach to each other that matches well, and that's why the 2 of Cups is one of my favorite cards. It's something that can only, you know, come along once in a lifetime. They're soul connected. They come to each other as equals. They see and understand each other and know they can move forward together. And with the Knight of Cups, it also has that soul guidance. So it really shares that aspect of just being together with like your soulmate, your divine counterpart, the person that is intended for you by those who watch over you, by, you know, higher powers themselves. They are leading this person into your life. There's a really sturdy, I guess like reliable energy to them that I feel they show to everyone, but there's something special about you. Normally when the Hierophant comes out, we have that fixed earth energy of Taurus coming through both of those cards. It coming out twice and then having this more airy or bright and very water heavy like assortment around it. It gives this like a stability, a reliance to you, where they work extra hard to be there for you, consistent, you know, always predictable, the one that you could always rely on. And I don't know if there's like a couple of you out there that haven't had somebody like that, or maybe an ex or friends, people around you were constantly either like leaving you, ghosting you, not showing up on time, or just overall like forgetting about things, this person is the one that will always come through. That's like their number one thing about the relationship, is they always want to be there for you. And we see that they're very invested in the future as well, because that Seven of Pentacles, somebody who's got this like mindset of, I need to put in more every single day to make sure that this is, you know, forever, this is permanent. So a hard worker, a lot of energy they're giving to you. It's also interesting that we have a lot of communication and a lot of stability within these cards. Like there's a lot of air and earth within peace and happiness. We have coral with foundation, and we have beluga with communication, but they're both cards in water. So it's like all these different energies just keep coming back. We're not getting a strong fire energy. The only fire energy would be in the sun. So it's not something that like would fizzle out fast. It's not a temporary energy. It's something that's the, you know, the core part of them. This is an energy that is consistent and will never fade. This is who they are for your, you know, the rest of your life. The marriage is constant because they just continue to put in that energy. And it's a very interesting reading for me, because I don't think I've gotten an energy quite like this. It really is showing up as something that's like, this person's very true, very like pure. They're very soul guided. So that level that they're at when they communicate, when they are in this relationship, it's a very strong like spiritual sense that they have. So this might be somebody that's very, very, very heavily spiritual, especially with that Hierophant coming out twice. So might be religious, not like in excessive way. We do have Saint Francis, so we normally in the Hierophant would have a pope, or, you know, somebody higher up in the church. Doesn't mean that's the, you know, their religion or anything. It just means that it's somebody who's very connected to a religion, or has a very good like clarity about life. So they have a good morals, good ideas. There's a very peaceful place within them. They're just very grounded. It's like almost like, you know, how Buddhism has that, just to be one, you know, be calm, be at peace. And we see that within these cards. The sun, the epitome, of course, would be just having that overwhelming sense of happiness, contentment, joy, you know, all those things mixed into one. But we also have peace and happiness. So it's like every single card, like I keep saying this, but every single card keeps complementing the other, or like affirming the other, because with you, there's peace and happiness. There's a side of them that is just content. It's somebody who can spend a lifetime with you and need, you know, nothing else. They don't need a lavish life. They don't need something special. They don't need to go out on a huge journey. They're completely happy with just being with you. They want to make sure it's stable. Of course, they want to be a good, you know, partner in the relationship. They want to put in as much as they can, you know, 50-50. It's all about being balanced, or, you know, even just supporting you. We do have some that are coming here as like, they want to be the support in the relationship, the provider, but they really want to shower you with love, affection, because you bring them a lot of peace and happiness. And you will not see this with anyone else. If anything, they might put up a wall when it comes to other people, just because they don't have that openness or that comfort that you give to them. And that's a big thing too about a lot of the earth cards, is comfort, or a lot of the pentacles, right? It's about being comfortable, being with somebody that you're truly connected to, bonded with. That's what I'm seeing with this first deck and that Labradorite. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope that you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 2. We have your rose quartz. This is pinker in person. It never shows up as pink as it is in real life. But I've already laid out all the cards when it comes to the side that they'll only show you with your future spouse. I'll go over them quickly so you do know what's out here on the table. Starting over here, we have the 7 of Pentacles, the Star. We have the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, the Lovers, the 8 of Swords, Justice, the Eagle with Freedom, the Ibex with Resilience. Up here we have Trust with Polynesian Voyagers in the Pacific Ocean with 41, and Freedom with the 1963 I Have a Dream speech and 16. So a good balance of energies coming through here. We have Pentacles, Swords, Cups, and Wands. There's a stronger energy of Swords and Pentacles because those are the first ones that came out, and then we do have a lot of sword energy within the Lovers, the Eight of Swords, and Justice. Now, normally when I see the Eight of Swords, I see it as somebody who's stuck or unable to move forward, but it transferring its energy into the Justice card shows somebody who has a lot more control over the situation when they're in a better place. And for you, that means when they're with other people, when they're surrounded by other things, it can be something that's like a little toxic. And it might have been that this person has been surrounded by a lot of toxicity, or a lot of people that, you know, almost like tried to bring them down, prevented them from really like leveling up or being themselves, in a very similar way to the previous deck. But here I feel like it was just genuinely some people that were not like good for them. They weren't good people to have around. They weren't people that were beneficial at all. And I feel like there was a lot of having to sort of sort things out, or sort people out, and then let them go, decide who stayed and who, you know, got the boot. But with you, they don't have that problem. They can be as open and as free as, you know, possible. With the Nine of Cups, as well as freedom over here, they really reflect each other. Even with the Four of Wands, there's a sense of opening up to the world, opening up to everyone, everything that you could want or need. It's just being completely free. Nothing's holding you down, tying you down. Nothing's creating negativity. And that's purely when it comes to you, of course, because we're seeing this as the side only they show you. So you're only getting this, you're the only one getting this energy of being calm through, you know, any storm, of being comfortable in the position they're in without feeling like there's a stress or a demand or anything that's, you know, forcing them to level up, or forcing them to do something that they're uncomfortable with, or maybe like even not necessarily leveling up, but being somebody that they're not, you know, having, when people come along and try to change them into something that they don't want to be, or they know that they could never succeed at. It's all those like negative energies. But with you, we see that peace, and the Star is the card of peace. It's the card of manifesting the best reality, the reality you want. It's opening yourself up to a new stage, a new energy, and allowing yourself to believe again, believe in things that can come. So gaining a lot of control over this and then moving forward. That's all you're doing. That's all because of the comfort, the joy, the just happiness that they feel with you. And we have trust, and trust is a big word to have in, you know, a relationship, in a card. To trust you to be that person that they can truly like open up to give their entire heart to. That's a big thing for this person, because I really feel like I said with that Eight of Swords, very like disconnected, not wanting to be around a lot of people, feeling like it might have either been people in the past that just, you know, like I said, the toxicity, blocking them off, not allowing them to come in, just because they felt like it would be better that way to not have those people around. But it can also be just them deciding how to move forward in a way that's it's like less confrontational or less likely to create toxicity. But we have that celebration, that brightness with you, and we go from somebody who feels free and happy and at peace within these energies into the Four of Wands, as well as the Lover. And the Four of Wands is normally a wedding. It's a celebration. It's a union between two people that feel a sense of a connection that, you know, almost like lights up the world. And that's why we see like the lights in the background, this party, this brightness. And then to even transfer into the Lovers, that really has that soulmate energy, that true connection that is not comparable to anyone. It's something that you feel like you can feel their energy when they walk into the room. You can feel who they are immediately. Like you almost can sense when they're coming. It's really a strong like mental connection, spiritual connection that you have between the two of you. Now, when it comes to their actual like treatment toward you, since we have so many loving cards, but also a lot of air cards, we see somebody who is very like expressive of how they feel about you. The first pile seems like very loving, very affectionate, but this one I feel is more of a talker. So you're not just getting like acts of affection, physical affection, you are getting their words. They are communicating this to you, and I feel like they almost like are reassuring you constantly of how incredible you are, how happy they are with you, how you give them this lovely sense of freedom, of joy, of being able to approach something new. And we have freedom within 3 cards really, because the Nine of Cups has that jumping, that has the feel of freedom, but then we actually have freedom on the eagle, as well as freedom on the I have a dream speech card. And the Eight of Swords is all about giving yourself freedom. So it's somebody who really makes sure, like, they constantly tell you, this is what you've done for me, this is how much I appreciate you, this is who you are to me. And it's so important for them to tell you this, because there's not, you know, a lot of people. And I do feel like with this pile, there's just either like I said, a toxic background, or just like people, it might have even been their family that they just did not have a strong connection with, and it created a weird, like, almost distance for them when it came to a lot of things. So it was almost like they had to rebuild that trust, rebuild that openness, you know, to have this relationship. But there's almost like a celebration when it comes to you. Like, they constantly celebrate you. They put a lot of energy into you, a lot of time into you. And I feel like with this person too, since we have swords, which concern time, and we have pentacles coming out, it feels like whatever opportunity they have that's like extra time, or they have like you know, a break, or maybe some time off from work, I feel like their first thought is to spend time with you. Their first thing is like, where are we going, what are we doing? Even if it's nothing that's really big, I still feel like this person is 100% giving you all of the time, all of the everything, all the attention they can. So it's really always dedicated toward you, because you brought them here into this stage of the Nine of Cups. It's because of you they were able to remove themselves from the Eight of Swords. And it's interesting too, we didn't move from the Eight of Swords into the Nine of Swords, or into the Nine of Wands. We moved into the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, which are the two good nines. So we don't have any of that negative energy, we have only positive. So really strong connection here, really like deep connection, filled with a lot of like verbal affection, a lot of like expressing themselves to you. But that's what I'm seeing here with this second stack and that rose quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 3. We have your clear quartz over here in the shape of a moon. I already laid out all of these cards, so I'll go over them quickly so you do know what's out here on the table for the side that they only show you. Starting over here, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Three of Swords, Death and Rebirth, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Empress, the Bear with Protection, the Peacock with Confidence, Patience with Under the Bodhi Tree in Northern India with 28, and we have Abundance with the Hanging Gardens of Babylon with 1. So very interesting set of cards. There's a lot going on here, a lot that might seem bad within like the Queen of Swords, the Three of Swords, Death and Rebirth. It might seem like a little off here, but it's actually slightly different from the previous piles. It gives a little more of their sort of background story and a little more of why they're so like enamored with you. Something like a true and just energy rush when they meet you, when they're around you. It's a very strong connection here. Since we're starting off with movement forward, I want to read the Three of Swords in a positive way, because the Queen normally has control over everything. If she's allowing it to move forward, we see that they're moving away from heartbreak. This might also be true for some of you who are watching this. You might have had to go through a little heartbreak recently. There might have been something that really like got you down, and you either took a break from relationships, or you just decided for the time being you needed to just, you know, dedicate some time to yourself rather than investing in relationships that you know, weren't really matching your energy or doing anything beneficial for you. So you this is either their energy, your energy, it could be both. But we see that movement forward, and then it turns into Death and Rebirth. And that's a very important card, because I think that's one of 2 cards I have that say rebirth on it. So it's signifying a start. And whenever death comes out in the first position, it means that it's a fresh start, a complete end to a previous stage, and something brand new coming through. You have one of my favorite cards coming out with the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is the micro lovers card, but it's much more important than the lovers card to me, because that one's filled with a lot of affection, meaning this person really shows how they feel about you. You really feel like their heart. You can tell that they love you dearly, completely. And it's something that you feel like you are finally complete. And I feel like this person constantly tells you that they're finally complete now that you're in their life. And it really is something that brings out the best in them. And not just like, you know, making them into a better person. I feel like just making them happy and not negative, not fixated on the past, not somebody who is pessimistic. It's all about like renewal and that brightness. And we do end up with patience and abundance. And abundance does have that Ace of Cups energy here with just everything overflowing. So much, you know, fruitfulness. We have 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 10 of Cups. And there's that constant movement forward. And this person, honestly, I feel like this is the first time in a long time, or this is the first time ever that a person or that this person sees a future, and it's because of you that they can see happiness, marriage, children, a life together, you know, anything that you hope for, this person is hoping for, and everything that you want in your future, this person wants in their future. It's the first time that this person has that brightness, has that like joy, that like renewed energy to take on the world. And it's really like, because of the way I'm seeing it, it's like really just solely about you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about any other thing in their life. It's all about you. And I love the way that the bear's coming through with protection, like grasping this person. I'm not sure if you can see that, but they're like grasping them, you know, they're holding on tight. They don't want to let go. And it reminds me of the 4 of Wands in the Spirit Song Tarot. It has that like comfort of being with somebody or something that will never be replaceable. It's the sense of being at home with somebody. So that's really what you're giving them. You're giving them a sense of home, as well as a sense of like moving out of that toxicity, moving out of that frustration. Because the 6 of Wands, you have to go through something. We see that heartbreak. And like I said, both of you might have gone through that heartbreak. It might be energy on both sides. But to have that card come out and then turn into the 6 of Wands, we see letting go, we see healing, we see embracing something new, and then allowing things to continue forward. And even in that Empress energy, just being happy, being joyful, being able to see the future as something good and not something that's just like, you know, another day. It's this absolute renewed like feeling that they have. There's something that almost like it washes away all of the past through you. And it's almost a cleanse. And it's weird because there's so many water cards here, and it's almost like it's a true cleanse in a sense, like actually having a real cleansing, you know, like going to somebody like a shaman or something and getting a cleanse. It feels that way to me, but it feels like just your energy, who you are as a person, it feels like that is what's cleansing them. That's what's renewing their spirit, renewing their soul, and allowing them to have this faith in the future, just like prosperity, left and right. No downhill, you know, just forward momentum. Now, there is a lot of like shows of affection, of love within these cards. So this is where there's a little more of a difference between the previous stacks. And I feel like the Knight of Cups has flowers. The Empress has flowers. We see patience with flowers, abundance, flowers. We also see the Peacock here. The Peacock, you know, puts on a show for whoever it's trying to, you know, be with, whoever it's attracted to. It puts on this big performance trying to grab their attention. So I do feel like this is more of a giver, or it's somebody who makes sure their actions show how much they care about you. Even in the Empress, just like this person taking care of the other person, it might be a little acts of kindness, but it's definitely coming through as like just showing how pure they are, how appreciative they are, how much they care about you, and how much they are willing to invest in you. Just like little things like helping you with your coat or with your shoes or anything. It's not about being you know, just doing sweet little things here and there. It really is something that they put affection into every single aspect. They might not be somebody who's super talkative, and that might be why we're seeing a lot of actions coming through these cards, because the 2 swords that we have coming out are sort of like past energy, and we're seeing them transform into this newer energy. We only have one wand, we have the Empress, which can be Libra, but it's also heavily Taurus and heavily Earth energy. And then, of course, Cups. So we're not seeing heavy communication. Like, they don't talk, but their actions are communication for them. And that's where we see this, like, flowers, showering you with affection, this like making sure that you feel that. It might be like surprise picnics, might be a little trip somewhere. It's just, something to brighten your day, anything that they can do. And that's where it's not like nobody else, because nobody else has been able to get this side of them. And I think too with patience is maybe you're the one that's been patient enough to allow them to open up, to allow them to trust you and become this person that we see here. So your patience is paying off. But that's what I'm seeing here with this third stack in that clear quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 4 with this little Lapis Lazuli heart. I've already laid out all the cards when it comes to this. Pick a card and the side only they'll show you. I'll go over them quickly so you do know what's out here on the table. Starting over here, we have the Knight of Swords, we have Justice, the Two of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Wheel, King of Cups, the Two of Cups, the World, the Otter with playfulness, the Hen with nurturing. We have playfulness again in a completely different oracle deck with Woodstock, New York, and 31. And then we have communication down here with the Oracle at Delphi, Greece with 7. So interesting that playfulness came out twice here, because that feels like the overall theme with even the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. There's a playfulness within these cards. So I feel like the joy, the happiness, the almost like childlike energy that you bring out of them is something that is like very important to this reading. It's very important to the side that only they show you, because I feel like they're normally one to either hold it all inside, like they're not good at showing their emotions or communicating. Maybe they're just, they were raised that way and they don't know how to talk about what they're going through or how they're feeling. Or it's just somebody who maybe like hasn't really gotten around to just being happy, just being outgoing. Maybe they had to work from a young age or were a very serious person. But this movement into something that's very grounded is also very interesting, because we start off with swords, which is quickness, it's movement, it's trying to get things done. But here we see it moving into a grounding energy in the pentacles, and even in the fixed energy of the wheel, the cup energy that's more go with the flow. So you do give them a sense of calmness that they don't have anywhere else. This might be due to maybe like a pretty hectic job. Something like this person might be in law because of the cards that are coming out. But I feel like you give them a nice calm. You give them the ability to just relax, have fun, just live in the moment rather than fixating on all the other things that are going on around them. There's a lot of joy when it comes to you. I think you're somebody who really likes to surprise people or give people like a lot of your attention, a lot of your affection. Just do little things here and there for them to show you that you're thinking of them, that you're caring about them. And because of that, this person like really it's just so happy. There's such a joy to this person, and they really return that energy back to you. We see that with the Two of Cups, and I think almost every stack or every pile had the Two of Cups, now that I think about it, in one deck or another. But it's a strong card to have come out, because we see it matching energies. We see two people that are coming together. It might not be like they're identical, they might not have everything in common, but what we do see with those cards is somebody who can meet the other person, somebody who truly understands the people they're around, somebody who takes the time to communicate well with others and learn about the person, learn about who they really are. So for you, it's somebody who's just very patient, very understanding, very like mindful. They really have an immense amount of affection and connection to you. The King of Cups with the Two of Cups, just somebody who it's a very like in tune with their emotions person, a very kind, loving, affectionate person, but somebody who's also very self-aware, because both of those cards create a true awareness. So they're not like an emotional wreck or anything. They're not too reliant upon their emotions, but they know who is important and how much how exactly to express how much they love them, how much they love you. And they work really hard on just communicating that to you. I think it's with this stack in particular, it has a different energy or a different flow to it because of the way it turns into the Wheel of Fortune as well as the World. And both of those cards have fixed energy in them because they have the 4 fixed zodiac signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius in both of them. And we see that balance in both of them. We do have all signs represented here within these cards, which is nice. You know, we really need to have a nice balanced person. This one, I do feel like has the ability to talk, but like a lot of the other ones, it doesn't feel like a talker. This person just really, I think, wants to be by your side a lot. They are very affectionate. They're very, it's like clingy, but in a good way. The type of person, like every free second they get or every opportunity they have, they want to be next to you, or they try to reach out to you. They're a hand holder, a hugger. They're somebody who is constantly by your side, somebody who you feel like, you know, almost like even when you're apart, you can't be separated from this person because it is such a strong bond that's present here. There's so much care from this person, so I'm not really like getting any genders, and I know a lot of people want to know genders within these readings, but I don't, you know, specify any because you know, I don't know who's reading, and I don't know who's watching, and I don't know their orientation. So I try not to use genders, but I feel like this person, regardless of gender, is very affectionate, very nurturing, very caring. This is somebody who really wants to take care of people. They're the ones that like make soup for you when you're feeling sick. They're the one that makes sure you have your blankets when you're cold. They really take good care of you if you're not feeling well, if anything's going on. There's somebody who really, really sincerely cares. It's a very, very like mindful person, somebody who truly worries about humans. They really do. Like, this is a complete like heart on their sleeve type of person. And to have a different side of them, I do feel like that's something that has not been shown to many people, because I feel like maybe either they don't react well or they don't understand the affection, or maybe they're like, you know, maybe from a culture that isn't supportive of affection. Like, they're not used to it. It's not something that you know, is supported or cheered on. You know, a lot of groups just say like, don't be affectionate, or you know, their own parents or whoever they were raised with aren't very good at showing how they feel, so they're unfamiliar with that like loving and hugging family style. But with you, we finally get, or they finally get that relationship, that connection, that person that they can be, you know, playful with, that they can be expressive with, that they can take care of, that they can be beside, that they can see a future with, and somebody that I feel like they can build a family with, especially within that 10 of Pentacles, because that's a card of a true, long-lasting, deep connection. That's my forever card. That's the card that if I do a love reading on, that's the card right there that I want to come out. That's the card that says to me, this is a solid, beautiful, long-lasting relationship that's built on a true connection, not just something that's on a whim, not something that it's like you saw them, your eyes locked, and you know, a couple months down the line you break up. It's none of those things. This is something where you feel inseparable. You know, this person is permanent. You know, this person is forever. And you feel that from the moment you meet, especially with that 2 of Cups coming out, because that's a true soul connection. But that's what I'm seeing when it comes to this final pile and that Lapis Lazuli. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.